Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Sorry, I couldn't help myself.
Go ahead, go for it.
Okay, today is June 16th, 2022. This is the Environmental Conservation Board. We have an agenda that we're going to follow. The first item is P&R Estate Corporation. They have a creation of a parking lot buffer that they want to do some work at. There is nobody here from them, but there were no comments from the public to the board. We just have to do an EAF and sign the permit. So, barring any changes to the permit application, the only special conditions on this are the town wetland inspector to a pre- and post-site visit for installation of erosion control. The application is for P&R Estate Company, Estate Corporation, to creation of a smaller parking lot for an apartment house, 400 cubic yard cut and fill for project. Do I have a motion to grant the permit?
I make that motion?
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Okay, so let's just go through the EAF and then we'll be, all right. Okay. Will the proposed action create a material conflict with adopted use, planning, or zoning regulations? No.
No,
Will the proposed action result in a change to use intensity of use of land? No.
no,
Will the proposed action impair the character or quality of the existing community? No.
no,
Will the proposed action have an impact on the environmental characteristics that cause the establishment of a CEA? No. Will the proposed action result in adverse change in the existing level of traffic or affect existing infrastructure for mass transit, biking, or walkway?
no,
No. Will the proposed action cause an increase in the use of energy and it fails to incorporate reasonable, available energy conservation or renewable energy opportunities? No.
no,
Will the proposed action impact public-private water or public-private wastewater?
no,
Will the proposed action impair the character or quality of important historic, archaeological, architectural, or aesthetic resources?
no,
Will the proposed action result in adverse change to natural resources, wetlands, water body, groundwater, air, flora, fauna? No.
no,
Will the proposed action result in increase in the potential for erosion, flooding, or drainage problems? Nope.
no,
And will the proposed action create a hazard to environmental resources or human health? No.
no.
Okay, that's signed, that's signed, that's signed. And that's done. Okay, next application is submission of an applicant or letter of permission, Christopher Sobieski? Sobieski, 739 South Lake Boulevard. You could approach the podium, please. Please state your name and why you're here for. And his application is to rebuild, repair existing retaining wall, boat dock, and construct a new shed and deck.
Chris Sobieski, parcel I'm discussing is 793 South Lake Boulevard, lakefront parcel on Lake Mayapack. There is an existing retaining wall, dock, and stairs leading to the lake, which are in poor condition. I originally started this process back in 2015, and at that time, I ended up repairing something else on my house and wasn't financially able to do it. And then, I don't have to tell you what happened over the past 3 years, so here we are, 2021. And it's in worse condition than it was back in 15, so I'd like to move forward with this and make the repairs and get back in action.
Okay. All right, so you're doing a 6 by 20 deck. That's an proposed 60 by 12 foot deck?
There is an existing dock and concrete patio area, which I'm going to replace the dock and
The dock is the wood, on the draw, let me just go through the drawing. You show a wood dock in Lake Mahopat.
yes,
That's staying or is that new?
that is going to become part of a larger deck.
How many feet does it extend into the lake?
I believe it was shown on the drawing, no?
No.
When I submitted with Rose, I had, the sketch was in there.
The sketch for the dock, the deck is 60 by 12. The shed is 18 by 10. There's no dimensions on
The existing dock right now extends out into the lake 16 feet.
16 feet, and you're not going out any
No,
further.
no, I'm actually probably going to be shorter than that. I think we're going out 12.
Okay, so this application right now is to do a proposed deck, put the shed in, and modify the dock.
Correct. The shed, if I can afford to do the shed, I'll do the shed now, but I have I received the variance when I started the process last time. So.
Okay, because, here's the thing, so because you have its shed here now, see, what I need to see, is I need to see the increase in impervious area. So right now you have an 18 by 10 shed that you want to propose to be installed.
Right, but what part of that submission in the written section is, I also have a paved parking area that exists, which I plan on removing the pavement and installing gravel to offset the impervious surface area. It's a pretty large parking area at the top, which is shown on the survey. Also, the masonry stone wall that runs along the lake has like a sidewalk on it. That will be the new deck area will go over that. That's impervious at this time.
But then the deck is now impervious, because how much, so right now I'm looking at 60 by 12, which is 720 square feet roughly. I'm looking at 18 by 10, which is another 180 square feet. Then you have the wood dock, which is existing, you're saying?
The wood dock exists, yeah.
Okay, you're gonna have to mark up these drawings before you go today and mark existing and give me the dimensions on that.
Okay, it's not shown on the survey? The original survey had the wood dock on it.
All I have is, this is what I have.
Yeah, the dock
This dock, this wood dock, it's existing, but I don't have the dimensions. Okay, so you're not touching that then?
I'm gonna rebuild it.
Okay.
It's leaning into the lake right now.
Okay, well then I need to have the dimensions and what you're gonna do with that, for that area. You need to give me a scope of work on
How
that.
it's going to be constructed.
Yeah, how it's gonna be constructed, are you gonna drive piles, you're gonna screw piles in, are you gonna just,
It sits on a stone cribbing, and we're gonna reuse that cribbing. We're just gonna rebuild on top,
Okay, I
dismantle
need
the
to-
dock and set
I
it
need
back
to
on
have
top
some
of the cribbing.
details on that. Okay, so let's start with the wood dock. Provide details on wood dock, okay? That would be installation procedures. And scope of work, okay? And also provide dimensions. And then the last thing is, while you're working on that dock, you show you're putting a silt fence in here. When you're working on the dock, you're gonna have to put a floating boom out there.
Boom in the lake.
And you have to show that on the drawing. I don't care about the materials on the dock. I don't care about what materials are, I just need to know what you're doing. You're demoing it off, you're taking the material away, discarding it as recycle, whatever, that's fine. Okay, now let's go to the deck. Okay, so the deck, according to this, is also the deck and the retaining wall in the same shot.
The retaining wall supports the parking area, the deck is.
Oh, the retaining wall supports this parking area,
Correct.
the asphalt parking area, okay.
So it's two
It
different the parking area is several feet above where the deck is going to be. You walk downstairs to get from the parking area to the lakefront. So the retaining wall then holds back the earth that's where the parking area is. So if you look on the left-hand side of that survey, the concrete steps that
Yeah, I
drop
see
down,
those.
several concrete steps. So you go from an elevation of, what elevations does he have shown here?
498
Yeah,
to
down to
480, it's like a 10-foot.
Yeah, eight to
Eight.
10, yeah,
Yeah.
it varies.
So, all right, so, because the way you've identified things on here, it's not identified that this is the retaining wall. I was unsure that that is the retaining wall. Okay. You need to show that it says 75 feet plus or minus. Excavated material will be held in grass area surrounded by silt fence. The retaining wall will be rebuilt having approximate dimensions. So if you're building the retaining wall 75 feet plus or minus 9'6" to height, so you're just gonna take the asphalt off and just make it gravel?
The asphalt parking area, I'll take that out and make that gravel.
Okay, so you're gonna have to modify, so let's just go back to the retaining wall, make this one retaining wall. So let's see. Okay, so you have to clarify on this scope of work that asphalt will be removed.
I did write that in the written section of the,
Hold on,
what I
just-
filled out.
Yeah, number 3.
Excavator will enter work area site to a stabilized asphalt driveway and parking area. Okay? Excavation for the repair of the retaining wall will take place along the entire plus or minus 75 foot. Excavated material will be held on grass and surrounded by silt fence as per the diagram. Retaining wall will be rebuilt. It says remove the existing asphalt parking area and make it gravel. Okay. Make it gravel. Okay. Take that note out.
What are you building the retaining wall out of?
Stone, it's existing stone and railroad tie, so it has it has a setback, it goes up about 6 feet and sets back. So the bottom section is already stone, we're gonna reuse the stone, and then the upper section will replace the railroad ties, pressure treated railroad ties.
And where are you gonna store the machine at night?
Be stored, I live right across the street, so we can store it on
No,
my.
you need to put a note on here that the machine will be stored.
I didn't write that in
Yeah, it's in there.
It is,
I believe I wrote that.
material will be
The
stored.
material and the machine. Or it'll be
If it's
refueled.
construction materials will be stored, it says fueled across the street. Fueled across the work at my home. So just put on there a note saying the machine to be stored at night. Outside area, in your driveway. You also have to have a spill kit on site.
Yeah, that was one of the part of that. I think I wrote that.
Do you see the spill kit on here?
No, I didn't see.
You gotta add spill kit note on this.
or
Unless
I'll-
you can find, either my reading's bad today or I need new glasses. It says, a small excavator will be delivered and fueled across from the work site at my home. Excavator will work through a stabilized asphalt driveway. take place the entire plus or minus 75 foot, held on a grass area. You will have environmental prevention, both that, 6 by 12 new storage shed, 18 by 10, and construction materials be stored at site in my home, my garage. Obviously not anything about it's built. Here's the silk fence details. Got some nice pictures in here. But that was in bad shape. So you have to add that no spill kit note on site while working.
I thought we did, but I'll write
Yeah, not a
it.
problem.
I thought it was in the handwritten section when I filled out the
Handwritten?
multi-pages. Isn't there a section where there's several pages attached with check-off boxes on it?
Yes, check-off boxes, it's just,
And then
was
then
the,
there's part, then you have to also fill some stuff in on that. Let me see where it is here.
EAF.
that's the
That's what
EAF.
we're referring to. Oh,
Have it with me. All right, I'll double check. I thought we did that.
Yeah, I mean. Okay, so the retaining wall is gonna be done, you're gonna stockpile the area on site, and then it's gonna be disposed of, and you're gonna have to, whoever's doing this work has to give a certification of clean fill, clean gravel. You need a cert for clean gravel. You can just get it, put it in the file after you're done. All right, so that takes care of the asphalt parking area, okay? Then, what do you wanna do next? The deck, the dock, the deck? Let's do the deck. 60 by 12. Let's see if there's any pictures in here. This is the deck.
These are the stairs coming down, and this is the retaining, this is the lake front deck will span this
We'll go from the edge of the lake over to,
back to where the stairs end. The retaining wall sits right, retaining wall's right here. This piece of the bar.
okay, and what are you doing with this?
That's
Leaving?
the neighbor.
Oh, that's the neighbors? Okay, so you're gonna come from here
Yep,
out to here. Okay, well, that makes more impervious surface, right, because it's a deck.
correct, I understand.
Right, even, but the, so you're gonna have to do calculations for either a rain garden or how you're gonna supplement the impervious surfaces. Because the
I
gravel,
was gonna take out
the asphalt, yeah, but it's a gravel, it's still considered, it's not a mitigation gravel. It's still in, right?
Gravel's not considered pervious?
Not all,
what kind of gravel? Regular gravel?
Like
Right.
pea gravel.
Yeah, okay. And it's 1,440 square feet in the asphalt parking area that exists now?
Yeah, it's that whole upper section.
The parking, is that
what do you?
obviously on the level with the road, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like grass. So just do us a favor, just go through the numbers, show us what you have, and you may have to squeeze a rain garden in here.
Where, yeah, I forget where the drainage would come from to go to where, the rain garden.
Well, if he puts on the asphalt parking, if he puts a couple, he's gonna have to put some weep holes out there, right? He's gonna have to put some leaders, so you're gonna have to put some,
Will be on,
Drainage.
on Earth,
on earth.
yeah, and that's
Well, the
pretty much pervious.
the plan would be to run off the shed, the back of the shed, to pipe the leaders down to the gravel parking area behind it. And there's a catch basin on the sidewalk of Route 6 there, 6N, I should say. And that's where the water could drain to, potentially.
What was that?
He sneezed
Bless you.
in the room.
In the room, the back room. All right, so this whole area up top here where the guardrail is on the second picture, that's where the shed's going?
Now, the shed would sit next to the railroad tie, would sit at the lower section,
Okay.
between the wood dock, where the wood dock ends, and the railroad tie wall is.
The wall's in bad shape. Okay, again, for the deck, you'd have to show floating boom, because you're working close to the, during the asphalt parking area, you'd have to put the silt fence up, just because you're digging.
Yeah, we're planning on putting asphalt, the silt fence all along the
Phase-
lakefront, and then around whatever stockpile we have up in the parking area.
Right.
So that's when we dig out that wall, we're gonna have the backfill.
Okay, and then, I don't need any more details. You're basically taking all the grass away and just going up from the face of your bulkhead back to your retaining wall. So all the grass and stuff is gone, right? You're covering that up.
That's what the
Not a
plan-
big deal,
That's what the plan is, yeah.
but that's all right, so, you need to put a floating boom while you do that. I have to double check on the pea gravel. And then the proposed shed, that's gonna be a prefab shed, is it gonna be on a foundation?
Possibly we'll bring in a prefab shed, or we could just build, or I'll just stick build something there.
What are you doing for a foundation?
It wouldn't, it's
Just slab on,
just gonna sit on.
Sit on grade.
Yeah, on pressure treated cribbing,
Okay,
8x8s.
okay. And then the wood dock. Did we hit the dock already?
Not-
Yes, I did.
On the
Install, installation procedure, scope of work. All right, so we covered all areas. So I need you to look at potential mitigation for wetlands, whatever, rain garden, whatever. I'll give you, because you're doing maintenance on the retaining wall, the proposed deck is, borderline, maintenance. The wood dock is maintenance, and the shed is just a delivery. I'm not looking for something like that. So just modify your plan, address the comments that we've given you today. And then we can talk to the town engineer about your wetland calc. So look at there's rain gardens on, or propose something that you feel would help.
Is there a standard by which you go? Is there
We go
X
by-
amount of square feet of, or is there?
It goes by square foot of disturbance. So you have 60 by 12 here, so that's what, 720? Then you have 180 for the shed.
Which
If you
sits
put-
on top of the deck.
Right, okay, so you could, but some of it also hangs over based on the drawing. So, right, so just figure out your math on what do you think your disturbance is, and then you just have to you may have to size a rain garden.
There's a
standard.
There's a standard
Yeah,
by,
you could go online, and it'll tell you, tell you the types of plants to put in there.
so I go on the Carmel
Either on the Carmel, we may
ECB
have,
site?
or you can just go on the DEC website and look at what land.
Okay, now, with regard to the removal of the asphalt area, does that come into the calculation, the pea gravel, or you have to
I've got to
review
double
that?
check on the pea gravel for you, but I'll talk to Rose tomorrow, Monday.
Yeah, because I know there's also something called pervious asphalt, but I can't
There
see how
is.
pervious asphalt is more pervious than pea gravel. It doesn't-
Yeah, I have to double check.
Makes
To
sense.
me, I'm trying to use common sense, let that prevail. Sometimes gravels are not considered pervious because they
item 4 is,
No, item 4 packs like concrete, but if we put pea gravel,
Yeah.
that's what I assumed, that we'll let the
I
water
have to
pass
double
through.
check that, to be quite honest with you, sir.
Okay, or if, when we come back, if you, whatever type of gravel you consider pervious, then we'll put that type of gravel. I'd rather have gravel down there instead of asphalt anyway.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, without that. I just have to double check. It's been a while since I've had to.
Okay, so I'm gonna provide details on the wood dock with the dimensions.
Yep, for the wood dock, you're gonna provide the installation procedures, scope of work, provide the dimensions, have a floating boom in the lake while doing the work. For the retaining wall, machine to be, put a note on, machine to be stored at site outside the area in your personal driveway. Spill kit, note on site while working, have a spill kit on site while working. And then get us a certificate of clean gravel, clean fill, because you're also gonna probably reuse some of this dirt just to level it off, right?
Well, the dirt that we excavate out behind the wall will be put back in place once.
Right, yeah,
We'll put the drainage in behind the wall and then put the dirt back in place.
right. And then the deck, floating boom while doing the construction of the deck.
If I'm gonna put a floating boom up for the
You'll leave it up,
dial, just do it the whole length,
Yeah.
75-foot floating boom,
Right.
the whole length of the
the
property.
whole length of the property. And then the shed, I had no comments on, and then I'm gonna look at the gravel versus the impervious, for the impervious,
Okay.
okay?
So,
You could get this to Rose by Monday, and then she'll get it out to us. And then, if you get it to us, what I'll do is this, we could vote on it today as a letter of maintenance. As long as you get it in by Monday, then I could have her issue you a letter of maintenance. But I have to get, but this is gonna be on 2 conditions. One, I check the gravel to
Okay.
make sure the pervious versus impervious, and a rain guard, which she'll let you know. I'll send her an email saying, tell you to put a rain guard in or whatever. And then, if that's okay with the board. Yeah? All right. So do I have a motion to grant letter of maintenance to Christopher Sobieski at 793 South Lake Boulevard? Letter of maintenance with the following conditions, that he gets the information into us by Monday. Provide details on the wood dock installation and procedures, scope of work, provide dimensions, and have a floating boom on the lake while doing the work. Dock cannot exceed 25 feet from the face of the dock, of the
Yes.
thing. For the retaining wall, he wants to stone the area afterwards. We have to, the board will check on whether or not that's acceptable for mitigation. Machine has to put a note, the machine to be stored at night outside of the work area and driveway. Spill kit, note on site while working. And provide a certificate of clean gravel, because either way, you're gonna put gravel down, so I just need a certificate. The deck, while he's doing the deck, he has to put a floating boom while construction of the deck. And then if the gravel's not good for impervious surfaces, then you'll have to provide us calculations for a rain
for the
garden.
rain guard, okay,
Okay?
sounds good.
Do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
second,
All in favor?
aye.
All right, so if you get it into Rose by Monday, you should be good. And then she'll give you the letter probably next week.
Okay, sounds good. And she'll know, you'll fill her in with the info on the
Yeah, I'll send her
gravel.
an email tomorrow
Okay,
morning.
all right, perfect,
Usually
thank you.
Friday morning email.
Sounds good, thank you. Once that's done, I have to come back, or that's it?
No, you just have to go see Rose, get a letter.
Get the letter, and then we can start.
Now, if you start the project and stop the project, you know, a letter doesn't stay open forever, right? So, you know, you gotta let us know, you know. Also, the other thing is when you put the booms up and the silt fence up, you have to notify the wetland inspector that it's up. That's something I forgot to put as a condition on that. You have to notify the wetland inspector, that's the Richmond, to take a look at it. And then after it's installed, then he'll say you're good to go. And then when you complete the job and you remove the floating boom and the silt fence, you call him to inspect that again.
And who is that gentleman?
Rich Franzetti.
He's a town engineer.
Yes. Okay,
That's one thing I forgot to add. Okay?
very good.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you. With that, I have no other new items. Do I have a motion to close the meeting?
I make that
You
motion?
don't have minutes? Do we have
Nope, no minutes.
Okay.
Second?
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, everybody. Have a good night. Enjoy your weekend.